Now, while the UK has been hosting a summit on AI this week, other tech industry leaders and policymakers have been meeting in the Saudi Arabian capital, Riyadh, for the Global Cybersecurity Forum. Well, with the global cost of cybercrime set to hit $2 trillion by the end of this year, up from $500 billion in 2015, one of the key themes of the event was how to promote real international collaboration in cyberspace at a time when the troubled geopolitical environment is increasingly pitting governments against one another. Well, one of the speakers at the event, keynote speaker, was Mary Aiken, Professor of Cyber Psychology at Capital Technology University, Washington, and she joins me now live from Dublin. Professor Aiken, welcome to you. Was this forum a success? What were the sort of main outcomes?
It was very successful, actually. You had global leaders coming together, thoroughly debating the issues, and lots of resolutions going forward, and tackling cybercrime was top of the agenda.
Now, cyber attacks were up some 38% over the last, I think, on just 2 years ago. Is this a problem that businesses can solve alone, or do governments really need to get involved here?
I think, we've had 50 or 60 years of cybersecurity. And cybersecurity protects your data, your systems, your devices. It does not protect what it is to be human online. And what we see is the majority of cyber attacks are actually facilitated by social engineering. And social engineering has everything to do with psychology and very little to do with technology. And this was the theme of my talk in Riyadh. In fact, I've just landed this morning, flying back overnight. And what we've seen is the importance of actually, providing safe passage for humans in cyberspace and actually focusing on online safety. And in fact, the UK is leading in that regard with the Online Safety Act and also developing the UK online safety sector. And I've worked with the UK Gov for many years in this area.
Oh, so what can other countries learn from the UK experience?
Well, first of all, the UK is one of the first countries to create this spectrum of harm, online harm, which ranges from cyberbullying through to harassment, through to cyber fraud, through to mis and disinformation. And with elections coming up, particularly in the US, that's a critical area to think about. But in addition to that, a whole sector has been established. We've about 4 years of research reports that have helped to build this sector. And the sector will be focused on delivering tech solutions to tech-facilitated problem and indeed criminal behavior. And in 2022, the Paladin Capital report established the US safety tech sector and found evidence of an emerging billion-dollar sector. And I was PI on that report.
I mean, you mentioned the US election, of course, which is around about a year ago, a year today, I think, roughly. Potentially, we've got a UK election, South Korea. I mean, there are 20 big elections globally taking place next year. Do you worry about the potential ability of malign actors to influence the outcomes of those elections?
Well, we're always going to have that. The question is not about the perpetrators, it's really how we deal with it. The problem with online harms, online criminality, online mis and disinformation is that it has the characteristics of big data: volume, velocity, variety. What does that mean? There's a lot of it. And therefore, we're going to need AI solutions and ML solutions to it. And that's what safety tech can deliver. We've got health tech, we've got fintech, and now we've got safety tech. And in fact, we've got an AI and safety tech summit coming up shortly in the UK.
Right. And you'll be participating in that, I presume?
Absolutely. My discipline, cyber psychology, can really help to, illuminate this space and provide solutions.
All right, Professor Aiken, we have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining me, especially after such an arduous overnight flight. You look in better state than I would have been after that, I'm sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.